All right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is going to be dedicated to the madness that is happening with Dragon Age the Veilguard. As promised, there is so much going on with Dragon Age the Veilguard. But first, we're going to talk about the reviews, and then we're going to talk about some leaked gameplay screenshots confirming everything that New Day's playtester that we were all questioning was whether was real or not. Apparently, all of it is true. Everything they said was true. And now we have more evidence to the fact with these screenshots that are making everybody lose their absolute collective mind, because the non-binary thing has been confirmed, the trans ideology stuff has been confirmed, everything has been confirmed, and the internet is losing it over it.
Peter, I need you to hold my ears.
So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So one of the first posts that I have here is from Manga Lawyer, and it says the first review of Dragon Age the Veilguard is in. Approved by Metacritic, it's a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, obviously. Celebrated for its diversity. There's so much representation that it boosts the score to a perfect 10. The professional reviewer also wanted to mention he's gay for some reason. Truly, a game of all time. Now, the most hilarious thing to me is that a lot of these supposed gaming urinalists that are reviewing this particular game are all part of the LGBTQ community, right? This particular one says he's a gay creator. IGN's reviewer says he was non-binary, or she's non-binary. The entire thing is absolutely obviously I don't even know how to even put it at this point. These people are so obviously shills, it's insane, and anybody questioning otherwise is ridiculous. It's okay, just say you're a fucking shill at this point. It's obvious, and we all knew it, right? I called it, you guys called it, we all called it, right? Everybody knew that this game was gonna be the 9 or 10 out of 10 masterpiece game that the mainstream media needs it to be, right? They need this game to be a win. They cannot let this game commercially fail. They can let the game financially fail, but they can't let the game commercially fail. They have to make sure that everybody views this game as a masterpiece, because they are the official source, right? To them, they are the ones who get the final say over whether or not a game is perceived to be good or not. So let's read this here just out of curiosity. A special shout out needs to happen here, as Dragon Age has once again done an excellent job when it comes to inclusivity and diversity, sexuality and gender. Again, I won't go into too many details, as some of this stuff is truly stellar and best left unsaid. But as a simple example, playing as a male identifying protagonist, I was able to flirt with whomever I wanted. It didn't always go to plan, but I had options across the board if I wanted to be gay as fuck, like in real life. Congratulations. I don't know why that was pertinent information, but again, I'm looking forward to experimenting more in future playthroughs. But in a real testament to the storytelling, I came to value my platonic relationships just as much. Now, the positive is inclusive in a very thoughtful and wonderful way. A testament to diversity and inclusivity. All of it is pretty damn obvious and ridiculous. And if you actually look here, we have a post from Synth Potato. There's a huge divide between press critics and YouTuber reviews of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Haven't seen this level of division in opinions between press and influencers in a very long time. Gonna hold off on Veilguard until I see more reviews from YouTubers. Now, to be honest with you, we have seen this for a while, Synth. I don't know, like Stellar Blade is probably a prime example of that. Hogwarts Legacy is probably a prime example of that. Black Myth Wukong is an example of that. They tried to downplay Black Myth Wukong purposefully because it wasn't diverse enough. Meanwhile, there was literally females past the second chapter, but the journalists they couldn't get past chapter 2. That's the problem. They tried to say there was no diversity in the game, but they couldn't get past chapter 2. So that's where we're at. Anyway, so if you look here, CGM 5 out of 5, Eurogamer 10 5 out of 5, Xbox Era 10 10 10 10, Game Rant. Of course, Game Rant gave it a 10. Tech Raptor 9.5, IGN a 9, Games Radar a 9, Dual Shockers, etc., Dextero, The Gamer 4 out of 5. So they all gave it damn near a perfect score, or a perfect score if they really got paid well for it. And if you look on YouTube, some of the most respected people on YouTube, you know, you got Maddie Plays with 571,000 subs, you got Skill Up with 1 million subscribers, and both of these people are not recommending the game. Vehemently not recommending the game. They just don't think it's a good game for anybody. Even Skill Up says, I don't recommend Dragon Dragon Age the Veilguard. That's their review. Maddie Plays says Dragon Age the Veilguard is a big disappointment with a review. So again, YouTubers are very, very honest most of the part anyway, unless, you have people like Unifade Walker who says that they're honest. They swear that they're honest, but it's so obvious that they're just shilling for an ideology and they see themselves in the game. Thus, they want to make sure that it's as successful as possible. I mean, that's just what it is. But some of these YouTubers who got review copies are actually being very honest about their review. And I'm not saying that if you're positive about the game, that means you're dishonest. I'm just saying that it's very easy to spot the shills versus the people who are being honest about the game. Because if you're talking about Dragon Age the Veilguard and the first thing out of your mouth is, well, as a trans person or as a non-binary person, if that's the first thing out of your mouth, it's fair to say that you're pretty compromised or at least biased in some regard. Now, here's the big drop, okay? This is the big drop here. We got some screenshots. This is a screenshot with a conversation about Tosh. Now, Tosh is this creature over here on the right side, and the screenshot on the bottom says from Tosh, non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on. Bro, at this point, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is a fantasy world, okay? It's a fantasy world of Thedas, and you got people who are saying, well, it's a fantasy world, which means anything can happen, anything can go. No, that's not the case at all. See, that's what makes you a terrible writer, right? That's what makes you a terrible creator, because in a fantasy world, there are still rules, right? There are still things you can and cannot do. There is languages, there is magic, there is, well, I mean, there may not be magic, but there's like whatever you want in that world, whatever rules you set forth, the story has to follow those rules. If you have no rules, then you have no fantasy. If you start bringing real life pronoun nonsense and ideology and trans ideology into a world where there is literal magic to change your sex and gender, whatever, that doesn't make any sense. You're talking from a realistic perspective in a fantastical world. What are we doing here? Why is Tosh calling themselves a non-binary? This is not language that they use in this world. They have never used it before, and now all of a sudden they are because of modern day. It's not because it enhances the story of the lore of Dragon Age. Let's be fucking real here. Let's be real here. It is about modern day. That is the only reason why this stuff exists in the first place. It's the only reason why trans surgery scars exist in the first place. You also have another screenshot here from Nude. It says from Neve, some of my friends in Mimrethios talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin as a man or as a woman. Obviously, you have trans ideology in there. And then you have another picture from Mongoloia confirming that, saying, take a long, hard look in it, kid. It'll always show the face of a hero who can get it done. And then you have some choices. And one of the choices leads to establishing transgender identity and unlocks new dialogue options in future conversation. So you can actually make your character trans in the game from an ideological standpoint. You can literally do that. It is insane to me. And again, you're supposed to be enjoying this fantasy world. You're supposed to be enjoying the world when trying to be reminded about modern day every single turn you take in it. Bro, this game is going to be a clusterfuck. It really is. And what people are talking about when it comes to the gameplay and whatnot, that's just icing on the cake, man. This entire thing is a bomb waiting to go off. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to stand by my statements about the sales. I still think that the game is going to sell. There's no doubt about it. I don't think it's going to sell nowhere near as Inquisition, and all the shows out there are hoping that's the case, but there's no fucking way this game is selling 12 million copies. I'm just being real with you. But 1 to 2 million copies by the end of the year is where I'm falling in, because of the holiday season and everything like that, and because Dragon Age fans unfortunately are stubborn right now. They're experiencing what Star Wars fans experienced for the last 5+ years, where, in the beginning they were very stubborn. They thought, oh, okay, maybe it'll get better, maybe it's not as bad as people are saying, and hopefully the next show will fix it, hopefully the next one will fix it, and the next one, and the next one, and then after a few shows they realize, damn, they're still fixing this. This is actually gone. It's broken. It's dead. And unfortunately, with Dragon Age the Veilguard, it's a video game. So what's going to happen is people are going to buy it, they're going to play it, they're going to realize all the modern day shit is in it, and most people are going to refund it, or at least half the people are going to refund it. So the initial sales are going to be pretty top tier, I got to imagine. But then after that, the refunds, once they kick in, you're going to get the true story. And the reviews will also be the true story from there. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.